Hey guys, 219 Tiger here, and sorry I haven't been posting. I've been kind of dealing with some personal issues, and today's video is something I kind of touched on before, but I'm gonna go into a little more detail. And that is toxic relationships. I've been in plenty of them. And they were highly toxic. And I have learned to I've cut a lot of people out. A lot of people who I made the mistake of trusting and paid for it dearly. A lot of the do for me, why I do absolutely nothing for you. And just, the fair weather friends. That they're there when they need something at their convenience. But when you need them, they're not there. Type of people. It's hard. Especially with the fact that I've been in some toxic, abusive relationships. Because there's always in that back of your mind, you're always worried about, damn it, another failed relationship. And you tend to blame yourself. I know I always blame myself, and I realize that sometimes, you can't always make everything work as much as you wanted to. And I've learned that the hard way. I had a girl break up with me because I had an anxiety attack. She just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Which was really hard. But surprisingly, one of her friends came to me and told me that it seemed like you guys were kind of drifting apart anyways, and she was cheating anyways. Having one of her own friends today, yeah, she was cheating on you, and, I know how it is to want to make a relationship work, but there has to be a time to where sometimes you realize that it's not, no matter how much it is, it just can become so toxic that, it's almost poisonous. I was in a relationship to where I fought to make it work. I was living in North Carolina at the time. I had quit my job and packed my stuff and moved across to another state to be with her. And as much as I wanted that relationship to work, I'm like, well, maybe this is finally the one, I fought to make it work, but it got to the point where it on her side, it started becoming abusive, and not just mentally, but physical. And as much as we loved each other, it was toxic. It was to the point where separating was the best thing. Because you can love each other and still be toxic to each other and be absolute poison. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it can be. And as sad as it is. And it's also the same thing with friendships. Like there are, some friendships that are just, they're toxic friendships. And I've been in a lot of them, and like my inner circle has gotten small. Like I can count on my one hand how many trusted people I have in my life that I actually trust. And there's an old saying, I would rather have one real friend than 30 fake friends. Because nowadays everything is sort of like a popularity contest. And I was never the popular kid. I was actually bullied. I was picked on because of my height. I was picked on because of the way I look. People judge me without getting to know me, you know. I've had people take advantage of me. Because I am so kind-hearted. I am so willing to bend over backwards to help somebody. Because I hate to see people suffer. Like, I hate to see people struggle. Like, I don't like to see people hungry. I don't like to see people homeless. I don't like to... And it's something that, like, you know... Despite you trying to mean well, it can sometimes be your downfall. And I'm not saying you should quit being who you are. You know, I'm gonna never stop being who I am. Like with Evan, okay, and the situation with Evan. You know, I let Evan stay here. Because I felt bad because he had nowhere to go, and his mom had died, and sadly, you know, Evan was addicted to drugs and alcohol. I tried to help him with that. Like I tried to be there for him as much as I possibly humanly could. And, you know, because I felt terrible for him. Because I know what it feels like to be homeless and you have nowhere to go. And nobody helping you. You know, and there are people that will judge before they even know the situation or anything. You know, because everybody is a critic. You know. And it's fine, you're allowed to have your own opinions, but I was always, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all type of person. Like, you don't always have to agree with somebody, but when you start getting to the point where you're just being hateful and hurtful, you're not helping. That's not helping at all. But Evan lied to me. Evan started stealing. And I still try, you know, despite that, I still sort of tried to help him, but sadly you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. And unfortunately, because of how bad things started getting, I sadly had to ask him to leave. It hurt me because, like, you know, I didn't want to have to do that. I don't like being in that position where I have to tell somebody, get the F out. You know, I you know, hate being put in, because I don't like putting people out, you know what I mean? It bothers me, especially knowing where they have nowhere to go. He gave me no choice, because it was, if I let him continue to stay here, my landlord would have made me leave, because it wasn't me he was stealing from, it was my landlord he was stealing from. And he was also, you know, he did steal from me, but he was also stealing from my landlord. And thankfully my landlord understood. My landlord knew I was helping him out, thankfully. My landlord and it was cool. And sadly I had to ask him to leave. I mean, it hurt because, like, you know, and it's not easy because I'm an empath. I feel pain, like, you know. I don't know what it is. It's just you feel it. You know what I mean? And it was hard for me to have to put him out, but I had no choice because it was just to the point where it was starting to get a little bit toxic. And you can only help somebody so much. I mean, if they don't want to help themselves, obviously there's nothing you can really do. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force a horse to drink, type of thing. And there's some people who are like a child, they put a helmet on, and they keep hitting that same wall, they keep doing the same thing. I mean, the only thing you can do is give them advice. If they listen to you, that's cool. If they don't, then, you know. You know, it's something that sometimes they have to learn the hard way, sadly. And I've lost friends because I told them you need to get out the drugs and tried to help them, and they didn't, and they're now in the ground. You know, because there are sometimes where we do seem to think we're invincible when we're really not. You know, I have, you know, and especially when I'm somebody who I have trust issues. I've been burnt so many times. I can't even count on my hands and toes how many times I've been burned, and I've had people go, I don't understand how you're not bitter and angry and hateful, and I could be, like, I really have, but being hateful and bitter takes too much energy, and this is not something I want to focus my energy in. I'd rather focus helping people than focusing my energy on hating people and being bitter. Because what does that really honestly do? Nothing. Have I resigned myself to being alone? Yeah, I have. Because I don't think I'm gonna find somebody that will love me for me. Sadly, as bad as it is, it's the truth. Because we live in a world where society dictates certain rules, and people tend to sadly follow them rules. And you know how this saying goes, nice guys finish last. They're not wrong. Nice guys do finish last, sadly. You know. But that's neither here nor there. I've watched certain people fall. But I tried to help them. I really did. I tried to give them advice, like, hey, look, you need to get out of this. It's bad. Like, I mean, I had a friend that was in a relationship for 4 years, and from my learning experience, I tried to help them because, I mean, like, trust me, I wasn't seeing signs that were there, and it's not until people point the signs out, until you learn what the signs are. Like, I mean, to the point to where she would constantly call me up. He'd just tell me all kinds of things, you know, in the middle of a panic attack. And I would tell her, like, look, you know, maybe, you know, sadly it's time to end it. And she didn't. And it wasn't like that I wanted, because like a lot of people are back there, oh, you will probably sit there and say, well, you were just trying to get with them. No, that's not it. It was more for their sanity, because sometimes, again, it goes back to sometimes relationships can become very toxic. And it got to the point where her anxiety and panic attacks got so bad to the point where, yeah, she's fighting to really make it work, because she's one of them. I don't want to fail this relationship, and not realizing that there was no relationship. The relationship was already dead, buried, and was a dump already set on fire. But and it got to the point where she had a meltdown, a nervous breakdown and a meltdown, to the point where she committed suicide. Which was really hard because, but she was a really good person, and it was really hard. And there's times where I kick myself like, God, I wish you would have listened to me. Like, God, trust me, there probably would have been somebody out there that would have loved you and treated you like a queen. It bothered me for months. It bothered me for months. And it still haunts me to this day, because I do think about it from time to time. I mean, there's a lot of times where I'll sit there and could I have done more? Could I really, 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 really have done more? And I don't know. Maybe I could, maybe I couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I did everything, and I don't know. Maybe it's just that overthinking. But there are a lot of times it's very easy when you're to miss the signs and not see what other people may see. And I'm not saying they're I'm right, you're right all the time, but I'm right 90% of the time. That's that's the higher number, conservative 85 to 75. Because I can see the size. Like I said, especially when you're somebody who has been in a toxic, abusive relationship, and I know some people say, well, maybe that's because you're seeing these signs. You're purposely looking for these signs, and I don't purposely look for signs. It's just you just know. It's just you just know. And no relationship is ever perfect. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But you know the toxic ones from the standard ones, the healthy ones. And it's heartbreaking sometimes because, especially when it's somebody you care about going through it, and it's just like, I think, some of it is it's hard because, especially when you love a person very much, you have that fear of, oh my God, I'm going to lose them. I don't want to lose them. And I've had that fear. But trust me, I've had that fear. But sometimes, sadly, loving somebody is letting them go. And it's never an easy thing, because I have abandonment issues. I've had people walk out on me for the smallest reasons. But I've also hit that point. I'm not going to beg you to stay. I'm not gonna beg, and it's not that I don't care, but like, if you're willing to walk out on me on small things, I could only imagine major things. So, and that's like I said, that's why my inner circle has gotten a lot smaller. And why I don't open up as much anymore. Sadly. Because it's, why am I going to waste my time opening up just for you to walk away down the road? A month. Like, I've had people sit there, oh, I'm here for you, you ever need anything, message, I'm busy. And not hear back from them. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I've had people, oh, but I care, you just didn't. I recently, I had somebody tell me, yeah, I care. No, you don't. No, you kind of really don't, because when I needed you, you weren't there. At all. I was there for you when you needed me, but man, holy shit, you were the one person that maybe I needed to talk to, and you weren't there. I was busy. I was this. I was that. Excuses. And see, I'm one of these people. I don't do excuses. Like, excuses are like assholes. We all have them, and they all stink. So, I don't do excuses, okay, at all. Because nowadays, we live on a platform of excuses. Sexual assault, there's all kinds of excuses. Whoa, no, I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses. You need to be held accountable. Bottom line, there are no excuses. Like, that is a problem. Too many excuses, and not enough accountability being held. That's the thing. Like, I'm also the type of person, I don't candy coat things. I don't candy coat. I don't believe, I'm not gonna blow sunshine and rainbows up your ass. Like, if you're looking for somebody to tell you what you want to hear, I'm not that person. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I have this saying, I'd rather be hurt with the truth than comforted with a lie. Because, there is, honesty is the best policy. And I know some people don't like me for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be like all your other friends lie to you. Or tell you what you want to hear. I mean, I had to learn, because I've been told things I didn't want to hear, but I needed to hear. And sometimes that's the problem, is it's telling somebody something they need to hear. I mean, it may not be what you want to hear, but sometimes you need to hear it. And they're not doing it to hurt you. And I mean, it's not always done to hurt either. Sometimes it's done to help. Because trust me, I have my insecurities. I have my issues, my flaws. I'm not perfect, and I can openly admit that. I'll say on camera, I'm not perfect. I've made plenty of mistakes. I don't ever try to portray myself as perfect, because I'm far from it. I know I'm not perfect. And I know I make mistakes. I can openly admit that. And I'm not afraid to admit it. But I have my insecurities. I struggle with my mental illness every day. I mean, there are days I force myself to get out of bed. There are days I don't want to get out of bed. That's why I can sleep all day long and say forget the world. You know. You'll know who your real friends are. Your real friends are the ones that are there for you through thick and thin. Are the ones that actually stand by you, who genuinely care. That aren't afraid to pick up the phone. Hey, I was thinking about you today. How you doing? Because things work both ways. It really does. It really does. I mean, so if you have these do for me, and they can't take the time out to help you, then bye. Because there should never be an excuse. Never. I mean, well, unless you're in a hospital or you're dying or you're sick, that's okay. You know, but I'm talking about these people that constantly, hey, can I borrow $5? Hey, can I borrow 30? Or hey, can I borrow 50? Or I need this, or can you do this for me, or can you do that for me, or... But the minute you ask them for something, oh, I'm busy. Or, you know what I mean? Or this or that. Them are the ones you kind of say, you know what? Bye. Because friendship shouldn't be at their convenience. And I see a lot of that nowadays. I have more associates than I do friends. Because that's what I started calling them, associates. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Because you go for the people who actually put in effort. Like we tend to shun the people that actually put in the effort for the people that don't put in any effort. Never understood that, but that's just how it is. So, but I'm gonna end this video here. We'll see you guys next video. Stay strong, stay lucid. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next video.